you're welcome back. I promise we'll take you to Parliament shortly, but not after just one more time. We need to stay on the NDC because there's a lot happening. You know him as Baba Sadiq, of course, doing all he can to improve the entertainment industry. But he says he's passionate about the people of Okaikoi Central. And that's why he's running for MP. Right. Baba Sadiq is joining us. And Sadiq, congratulations for filing, actually.
Thank you very much.
For how long have you harbored this intention?
Well, it's been in the works for some time. I was born and raised in the constituency. I was born in Fadama. I grew up, I attended school in Vabeka. And so at the point when I became quite prominent in the industry, I've always been giving back and doing things for the community.
So you see this as giving back?
Well, I mean, this time around, the idea is to leverage the political platforms to deliver even a bigger impact than I was delivering already to the constituents. There's a lot more things that the constituents still need or require. And I think that I am better placed to deliver it now more than ever.
Yeah, and the message is beaming on top of your head, the new hope. That's how you're terming your campaign. Why the new hope, by the way?
Well, the new hope of Okaikoi Central represents the aspirations and expectations of the constituency. It represents a refreshingly different leadership that's inclusive, a refreshingly different leadership that factors in the needs of the people, and someone that's looking to go the extra mile in delivering value and impact to the constituency.
Well, let's talk about this new trend about you in the creatives now coming to the fore, making the bold statement to go into political office. What's accounting for that? Because we've seen the likes of John Dumelo, of course, the others joining him there in the Ayawaso area, and you also coming on board. What's really moving and driving? You may not be the others, but there's something definitely happening within the creatives, a reason for which you want to see some of your colleagues in political office.
Well, politics and creative industry had always been bedfellows. I mean, if we go back to the essence of our statehood from the beginnings, you know, our flag, our state coat of arms, our national anthem, these were still done by people from the creative industry. And in a long time, where elections has been held in every country, from the advertising, the marketing, the messaging, and everything, it's always been a product of the creative industry. So there's always been a connection. But this time more than ever, I think that you're seeing a lot more prominent individuals from industry take a step, for leadership, also because of what we are known for. Primarily, a number of us have shown the competence. A number of us have been able to, create a very good credibility for ourselves. So essentially what we are trying to do for our communities and where we come from is extend the same positive excellence we are known for in an industry to politics. And of course, why not? It's largely been monopolized by lawyers, doctors, accountants. Yeah. So I can understand with the new emergence of creative excellence, these things will come also because there's a need to have that thought leadership that we've always enabled industry with taking into politics as well. So, we can also continue to drive impact, not only for our constituents, but for one of the industries that offers so much to the country. Yeah. Currently, the president talks about the fact that the tourism culture industries is the third biggest contributor to the GDP. There's an expectation that by 2025, we should deliver $5 billion to the states, for instance. And if we consider the fact that we're looking for $3 billion from the IMF to be able to shore up and clean up some of the challenges.
Creative arts could have solved that problem.
You understand that this is one industry that could solve that and also provide a lot of employment to a lot of people. And so I think that we are seeing that now more than ever because of the emergence and the power of the creative industry.
But it's just quite unfortunate that you don't have the best of examples around. The last time the likes of Obo, John Dumelo tried all of this, they didn't get the needed support to make it to Parliament. Are you discouraged by what's happened to the others, those who've gone before you?
No, in fact, we've had some very good examples. Right. Rizval came from the industry to Parliament. Honorable Jifa Gomashi came from the industry.
She's there, as we speak.
And so these are some very great examples as well for some of us. And thankfully, they are coming from the NDC that appreciates people from the creative industry.
So that favors your story.
So that favors my story. Yeah. But for me, I'm really, really hopeful. Also owing to the fact that Baba Sadiq, as an individual, as a reputed professionally somebody that resonates with the 4 voting blocks in my constituency. And so I'm very confident in having the surety that, once we run a more effective campaign this time around, once we were able to elevate the game this time around, the NDC would come out victorious in the 2024 election.
Are you on the ground and are you well known within the structures of the NDC?
Yes. I'm well known. In 2020, I was a spokesperson for the party in the tourism, arts, and culture segment. You know how we run our campaign in the 2020, and so obviously for anybody, you wouldn't have attained that if you're not well known and also had the competence. So within the party, I'm well known. I've been a member of my party for some time. I was born and raised in the constituency. I've been voting from 2004 from 2004 till now. That's where I voted. So I'm largely known. Every year there are a number of activities and activations I undertake in the constituency. In Fadama, for instance, which is the ward of Gbemomo where I come from, I've in the last 13 years been organizing the Sela Cultural Festival for the community. I've been organizing health events in the community. Last year I did the Abeka Homoho social culture, also because these events are also economic systems in a way, because one single event, divided however big it is, the traders and everybody around, they'll tell you that when these events occur or happen, they experience more than 100% of their daily sales. So they are, economic systems in a way, which we do to also drive social cohesion of the society. I've also been involved in running training programs for constituents to ensure that they're able to learn skills that would enable sustainable livelihoods for themselves. So,
what's that big message you're sending and selling to the delegates, and not just to delegates, but even members of your constituency?
Well, the big message is anchored in the headline, which is the new hope of Okaikoi Central, which I indicated that represents a whole new paradigm shift and innovative and refreshingly different leadership. But most importantly, there are 5 strands that I'm looking to heavily weigh on across sustainable livelihoods. There are a lot of people that are still employed or are engaged in one thing or the other, but not gainfully employed. And so one of the things I'm looking to do for the over 70% young population of the constituency is to be able to ensure that they are able to have sustainable livelihoods for themselves, either through the trainings, either through grants, and a number of things that I'm looking to do in the constituency. Again, a big constituency such as Okaikoi Central, for more than 12 years since we were carved out of the bigger Okaikoi North constituency, still can't boast of a modern hospital that drives the health needs of the people. These and more other ideas I have related to social infrastructure are things that I intend to pursue that will bring relief to the people. And so, these are tops some of the ideas and some of the plans I'm looking to pursue. But most importantly, I'm looking to bank on my years on experience, insight, skills, and my drive for positive excellence to bring it to the constituents, go the extra mile to ensure that we're able to deliver the much needed relief for the people.
Are you confident that you're winning?
Yeah, anybody that knows me knows that I've always been very confident, even when I'm coming against formidable candidates. Of course, I know a lot of people that said, the NP has won the elections in the last three election cycles. And I told them that perhaps you have to take the time to understand the mindset of Baba Sadiq. The mindset of Baba Sadiq is somebody that takes on formidable candidates, runs a more disruptive campaigns, runs a more effective campaigns. Can turn around anything at all, and obviously if you look at the voter deficit as related to the presidential results of the constituency, it signals one thing, that the Okaikoi Central seat is flippable, and it's very possible that it can become one of the safest seats of the NDC. But it will require a lot of work, it will require a lot of hard effort, it will require a lot of investment, but most importantly, it will start with having the right candidate with the right mindset, and that person is Baba Sadiq.
So what happens to the Baba Sadiq of Three Music, of the creatives, and pushing the agenda for the entertainment industry to grow? What's going to happen to that once you're of course, going full-time now into the politics and trying to be a member of parliament? Well,
my investment in industry is still growing stronger and gaining strength and continue to provide that much needed support to industry. Three Music is still existing. Three Music Awards, Waterland will still appear. Waterland has actually even been carved up into a foundation, which is the Waterland Foundation, which will leverage the arts to drive conversations in and around climate change and sustainability, for instance. And I've always been I'm maintaining my thought leadership positions on some of the key media platforms. And of course, politics affords us the opportunity to now more than ever bring that conversation up. I think that just as people from varied professions and industries are needed in politics, it's also important that people like myself that have worked to the highest level in our industry are also able to sit at the table so we can influence and direct some of the things that would enable industry for us. It's still very important that we have a table, or we have a seat at the decision-making table. Like I indicated, this is I come from one of the powerful industries. The media industry, which multimedia JoyNews is part of it, it's all part of the industry. The architecture industry is all part of it. That the heavy advertising, marketing, and its allied marketing industries are all part of the creative economy or creative mix. And so this is a very, very powerful industry that has the opportunity to employ a lot more young people and women. Most importantly, it's one of the industries that could deliver a lot of value for the country. And so for me, having a proper understanding of it, it's not going to end. I'm still passionate about the creative industry, and it's going to reflect even when I attain leadership.
Of course, many of us were laughing off the publicity stunts by Adam when he put out that flyer indicating that he was running for MP and then flipped it over to the NPP side. But he's beginning to complain about how he's lost some followers simply by declaring his political stance. Have you lost some friends? And are you not worried that, given that the nature, the brand, the kind of personality you've built for yourself over the time, over the period, you may lose that simply because, I want to become a member of parliament? No,
in my case, I haven't had that experience. Right. I haven't lost a lot more people. I think that for me, I'm actually even gaining more and gaining that strong social.
You still keep your friends from across the aisle?
Across the aisle, I've had a lot of friends. In fact, one of the biggest headaches I know for the MPP in the constituency will be the fact that my personality, my approach to things is the type that could still attract minds and people from the other side, And so for me, I think it's also largely owing to the approach and the ways you.
Yeah, but you get the message that the fact that our politics is very divisive. And the fear is that you may, of course, lose that.
But I think it's a mindset thing. My politics didn't start today. When I was still very active, running three music, I was the spokesperson of the party in the 2020 campaign. Right. It didn't affect what we're doing. I think it's a mindset. For me, I've always held the belief that we always consistently need to elevate the game. You always have to target and do it well. When you're doing your things well, it doesn't matter. It's a mindset. My mindset is that if I was a musician, for instance, I was going to ensure that I drop the most resonating music and around the most effective marketing campaigns around it that would reach out to everybody because you hit them and nothing whatsoever will stop it. And that's a mindset that I've always had. So regardless of the fact that I was running three music and was very active and I was also doing politics, you realize I kept on growing stronger with all the brands and all the activities that we're doing because the mindset was that I'm simply unstoppable. That's the mindset.
That's what you're bringing on board for the
and being unstoppable starts from the mindset. And that's why I say that in my constituency, for the NDC, for us to succeed, to win the seat or reclaim the seat after more than 20 years of not having lost it to the MPP, it requires an entirely new mindset. It requires a candidate that understands the assignment. It requires a candidate that understands the voter dynamics of the constituency, understand the numbers, polling station by polling station, ward by ward. A candidate that also understands the formidable ability, for want of a better word, of the possible candidates that may emerge even from the MP. Because of course, even though they are the current sitting MPs and MPP, it's not automatic. And so all these recognitions, all these factors are things that I'm factoring or I factored in before making the decision. And for me, I think that once I get the nod from the primaries, I would really elevate the game and ensure that we take the seat back.
You have a target in mind, percentage-wise?
It's early days yet to look at the main elections itself, knowing very well that the primaries is the most immediate thing
that's the first thing to run.
To scale up. And so, but for me, for the primaries, I think that in terms of what I'm aiming for about 1,233 delegates. I think that I should be able to aim for about 800.
Okay then, Baba, we need to go. You have any final words for the delegates? Of course, most of them are around this area, so I'm sure that they are watching us. What would you like to send across?
Well, I mean, the new hope of Okaikoi Central is coming, but most importantly for my Muslim delegates, I would want to wish them a happy Ramadan. Today marks the beginning of Ramadan. Hopefully, during this month, we are going to seek God's guidance, God's protection, God's blessings, and most importantly, pray to God for the much-needed victory we've always been working for in the last few years.
Okay, he calls it the new hope, Baba Sadiq, and
It's actually the new hope for Okaikoi Central.
Yeah, the new hope for Okaikoi Central. We'll be on the lookout for that. Yes, thank you for joining us, and of course.